which is this a little bit of a mindset about your leadership is actually a product. So we're going to talk about that. And then number two, in order to build good product over time, you have to have a framework. You need some structure in order to do that. Do you guys know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like the big idea is you're
Yep.
paid to lead. And when you have people who are really good at that, they can serve the many. But the big and little idea starts with you have to have this little bit of a, it's like Scooby-Doo would go, like, oh, okay, well, that's a little bit different to think, a different way to think about it. But we have to help all leaders. This is the big way to get moving forward. Help them to understand that their leadership is a product.
Yep.
And each
Yes.
and every day, people around them are consuming their product, and you want to start to ask that leader about what is the experience you're creating for those people? What does how do they take it in? What's the texture of your leadership product? How does it taste? How does it feel? All those sorts of things. And I think that anytime I've introduced that notion to a leader, they have their own Scooby-Doo,
Right.
kind of moment. They can take it in, and building their own leadership capability doesn't is no longer this fuzzy, vid, now we need you doing your magical woo woo. It's not any of it, right?
Yeah.
It's
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 not,
it,
there's no
it,
mysticism here, right?
there's no mysticism here. Your leadership is a product and people are consuming it every day.
Yep.
And it makes you very self-aware of, what people's experiences as they consume your leadership product. It's a big idea.
Yeah, no, it
Just
is.
say that
And
out
we
loud
were,
to people.
yeah, and we were recently in a conversation, right, Reg, you remember this conversation where we were speaking to a senior leader of a Fortune 15 CPG company, and we were talking about this concept of how
This
Rejuvi
happened. This happened last
last week.
Thursday. Was it
Yeah,
Thursday
last
or
Week.
Friday? Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
a Realio Trulio story. Yeah.
Story, exactly. And the idea was that we were talking about how, when you want to shift the performance curve of your organization, you have to start with actually understanding what drives that, and leadership decisions drive that, obviously. But the point we were trying to make very succinctly was that leadership is a product, much like you said, Reg. Leadership is a product that's consumed every single day, right? We're out there putting it out and it's being consumed and it's being leveraged. And this gentleman just literally hooked onto that, right, Reg? He hooked onto that. He said, "Oh, that's very interesting," and he kept building on it. And basically, his language was, he said, "So basically, what we're saying here is that leadership is a thing. It's a thing that you can take, you can nurture, you can grow, you can mold, you can align to business, to business priorities, and you can measure it, right? You can measure it, like how much of your leadership product is going up and the quality of it is going up. And
Mhm.
then how does that then impact how well your fields are growing, how well your sunflowers are growing, right? Which is in
Mhm.
effect, how well is your business doing? So that's the promise that we have here.